Hello everybody, I'm Rudy from the Portland City Gym. Today we're going to be going over a deck that does get an amount of support from the new Legendary Heartbeat set. Of course, Legendary Heartbeat is going to come out in a while. However, it's never really too late to start practicing, I guess. So that's what we're going to be doing here today. Of course, if you all do enjoy, definitely like the video, subscribe if you have not already, and definitely share the video with a friend, whether they want to get into the TCG or if they're interested in building a deck like this. Then, oh geez, my brightness kind of just shot up. I wanted to brighten up the screen, so I tapped it a few times and just kind of lit up. However, I don't know if you guys can see that, but I definitely can. So this is the list that I made. Definitely not perfect. I have not built Grassbox before, so of course this is a new concept to me. However, I did see some lists, and I took some inspiration. However, I mostly just used them to understand the basic concept of the deck and went forward. So first off, we have 4 copies of Rowlet and Alolan Exeggutor. Rowlet and Alolan Exeggutor has an amazing... It's just a really good card, honestly. For no energy, since it's a Alolan. Super Growth basically just says that if you have a basic Pokemon on your bench, you can evolve it into its Stage 1. And if you evolve it into the Stage 1 and it has a Stage 2 in your deck, then you can evolve it into the Stage 2. So the idea is that you're going to be going second, using Super Growth, and get a Rillaboom by your second turn. And then since it is a no energy attack, you can pay for something like Rillaboom VMAX's attack on your second turn, going second. So like yeah, that's pretty much the combo. So think about it like this, right? Grookey on the bench, Rowlet and Alolan Exeggutor in the active spot, and then Rillaboom V on the bench as well, right? You attach for turn on the Rillaboom. You use Rowlet and Alolan Exeggutor's Super Growth, evolve into Rillaboom. Use Rillaboom's ability then to put 2 energy on the Rillaboom V next turn, and then VMAX, attach for turn, and then all of a sudden you're using Max Beating to deal a massive 280 damage. So that's definitely very, very good. So then after that we play 2 copies of the new Zarude V. Zarude, or Zarude, I don't know, you can pronounce it however you want. Zarude has a really cool second attack. The first attack, for 2 colorless, it does 50 damage, and your opponent's Pokemon can't retreat. We've seen attacks like that before. They're never particularly amazing, but if you're able to pay for that attack, you're able to pay for its other attack by default, because we only play Grass Energy. For 2 Grass Energy, it does 100 damage, and your opponent's... Well, sorry, no, it has nothing to do with your opponent. Basically, you attach 2 basic energy from your hand to 2 of your Pokemon, and if you do, heal all damage from those 2 Pokemon. So, picture this, right? Going off of that turn where I said we power up Rillaboom VMAX's attack on our second turn, right? We promote it. Max Beating, do a ton of damage, right? And then we recharge it. We put the 2 energy on with Rillaboom, and then put the 1 energy somewhere else. You know, you can invest it wherever you want. But then use Zarude's second attack to A, accelerate energy, and B, to heal everything from the Rillaboom that got damaged previously. So that's just something really cool you can do. I think it really helps out with the Zacian matchup. This deck already has a pretty decent Zacian matchup, but I feel like it already kind of helps it out, you know? Because you knock out a Zacian with Rillaboom VMAX, they promote another Zacian, they say, okay, I'm going to Brave Blade, and then there's nothing you can do. I mean, you're not able to attack me, you're not able to, actually, never mind. Just completely scrap that example. This was a Zacian killer anyway, but Zerude just really helps out with those new 3-prizers. Eternatus VMAX is probably the most notable one, because you can use Rillaboom VMAX's max beating, get damaged, and then retreat into Zerude, and then heal it all off, and in the meantime, knock out Eternatus. So that's just a neat little combo. It's a really good thing to go into, and it doesn't really matter that you're wasting a time to heal, or wasting a turn to heal, because it also does damage. Like I said, it's just a really good follow-up thing to Rillaboom VMAX's max speeding. Zerude gets knocked out, it gets knocked out, but in the end, you're usually going to be winning the prize trade regardless. Then a 2-2-2 Grookey Thwacky Rillaboom line. Most decks play a 3-3-3. However, I got rid of those 3 cards, one Grookey, one Thwacky, and one Rillaboom, for 3 Big Charm. I feel like Big Charm is just really important. Also, you only really ever need 1, 2 at the most Rillabooms in one game. So you just don't really need 3. I guess you could argue, oh, well, what if 2 of one piece gets prized? Then what are you gonna do? What am I gonna do? I guess I'd just be bad prizes. You guys can try and figure out where you'd put what 3 cards you'd take out. However, this is an extremely tight list. If you wanted to take out the 3 Turffield Stadium, that completely makes sense. But I feel like Turffield Stadium is pretty good in this deck. Then a 2-2 Rillaboom VMAX line. V, it's nothing really special. Forest Feast. Search your deck for up to 2 grass Pokemon, and then put them onto your bench. It's not great. I guess you can use it if you're not able to get Super Growth off. But the VMAX on the and for 3 grass and a class, 220, and I'm pretty sure that says 30 to itself. Yeah, 30 to itself. 30 to itself, it's not good. Don't use it. Then Rillaboom VMAX, 2 attacks. For 1 colorless energy or 1 grass, does 50 damage. Just vanilla 50. If you're not able to pay off max beating. Max beating, it does 130 damage, and you can discard up to 3 grass energy from it. And it does an extra 50 damage for each grass energy discarded in this way. So at most, you can be hitting for 280, which is enough to knock out ADP. However, that's becoming less and less relevant as time goes on. Then we played 2 copies of Dedenne GX. This deck is kind of slow, so Dedenne really helps to speed up the process. Plus, despite the sheer amount of Pokemon we play, our bench really isn't going to be full that often. You only really need 1, maybe 2, if the game's going badly. 1 Rowlet and a Lone Executor. Maybe 1 or 2 Zerude, 1 or 2 Rillaboom, probably 1 Rillaboom VMAX, and that's all a major if. Generally speaking, you have 1 Rowlet and a Lone Executor, 1 Zerude, 1 Rillaboom, 1 Rillaboom VMAX, and then 2 Dedenne on the bench. Or you can have Shaman, that's just another option, or Shaman Prism Star. Speaking of Shaman Prism Star, we play that. 2 grass energy, 30 damage for each basic energy on your board. Great late game sweeper, and sometimes even a good early game sweeper, depending on what deck you're going up against. So that's all the Pokemon. A lot of Pokemon, but I'm sure you guys understand why. It's a boombox deck. Rillaboom box deck. Then supporters. 4 Professor's Research, discard your hand, draw 7. Like I said, this deck can move kind of slowly, so we need to be as aggressive as possible with our other Pokemon to make up for that. 2 copies of Boss's Orders. Boss's Orders is just standard Gust. And then 2 copies of Malon for extra healing, in case Zerude is just a little bit too tough to pull off at the moment. Then we play 4 Quick Ball, 4 Great Ball. That's just basic Pokemon search. Like I said, we play a lot of Pokemon, so we want to have a good way to search them out. This is post-rotation, which means that we do lose Netball, which is a pretty unfortunate loss, if I'm being completely honest here. However, I feel like we can manage with 4 Quick Ball and 4 Great Ball. Netball was definitely at most a luxury. Well, at least, I don't know. Um, after 4 Quick Ball and 4 Great Ball, we play 4 copies of Switch. Switch is just there to switch. You play a lot of Pokemon with 3 retreat cost, Rowlet and Executor, Baby Rillaboom, Rillaboom VV Max. And plus, we just really want things to stay. We just really don't want things to stay in the active spot for too long. Also, Rowlet and Executor really, really needs to pull off the first attack of going second, so we really need a way to pull things off as consistently as possible. Switch is what helps us do that. 3 copies of Big Charm. Big Charm is there to increase our Rillaboom VMAX. Is already pretty above average, 330 HP to 360, which is already bigger than any other VMAX in the game. So that's why you play Big Charm. It's just really good. Being able to live attacks easier, especially combined with Zarude V. Definitely a very, very nice combo. Then we play 2 copies of Tag Call. Again, we need to search out our Rowlet and Executors. It's just extremely imperative that we get the attack off on our second turn, or on our first turn going second. Then we play, and we can get Mallow and Lana. However, I feel like that's not that important. Then we play 1 copy of Ordinary Rod. Ordinary Rod, obviously just there to put energy in Pokemon back. I feel like this deck, it really embodies the, what's it called? It really embodies the purpose of Ordinary Rod. I feel like if Ordinary Rod belongs in a deck, it's definitely this one. Especially such a Pokemon and energy-based deck, it just feels right. Then 3 copies of Turffield Stadium. Like I said, if you wanted to, what's it called? If you wanted to play no Turffield Stadium and instead a 3-3-3 Rillaboom line, you definitely could. I can definitely see the reasoning in that. However, I feel like Turffield Stadium is pretty useful just because you can grab Rillaboom VMAX and Rillabooms and Thwackies with it. So that's why you play Turffield Stadium. However, it's one of those things where it can be helpful in some situations, but it's really not good at all in some. So if you feel like the situations where it's not helpful outweighs the situations where it is, definitely just go ahead and add a thicker Rillaboom line. Make all the difference. Then we just play 12 copies of basic Grass Energy. Of course, this deck, like I said before, is very Pokemon and energy based. Just getting Pokemon with huge energy cost and just charging them up with Rillaboom, and then just absolutely sweeping. Of course, we need a lot of energy to do that, so 12 seems to do the job. Again, you could probably find room for others for other stuff. You could probably add more Grass Energy, or maybe you wanted to get the thicker Rillaboom line, like I said. Or you want a thicker Rillaboom VMAX line, want this to be a more Rillaboom VMAX based list, more than it already is. Then, of course, you could always do that. If you think this is a 3 Dedenne deck, which, I mean, I don't, but if you think it is, go ahead. Nothing's stopping you. And as always, I said this at the beginning, but as always, if you enjoyed, please leave a like, subscribe. Constructive criticism is always neat, so definitely drop it down in the comments section. And share with your friends. Smaller channels gotta survive somehow. So, until next time, this is River from the Portland City Gym, signing out. Yeah, still not editing this out.